Hello, this is Aaron Clark. I'm continuing the lesson number 2 that you'll see above if you're on the blog. What I'm doing is going over a quiz that my niece Tiara is taking and recording it and allowing other people to take a look and see if it'll help them as well. So what we're doing is working on problems involving circles, inscribed angles, tangents, secants, and all of those, and problems that are involved in that. And a lot of them involve doing right triangles and using Pythagorean theorem and all those theorems towards right triangles. So what I'll do is I'm going to go over, we're on number 4, I'll probably do 3 or 4 problems, stop the video, and then continue on another video. So here we go. What we have here is actually, I'm gonna read the directions for these, and I'm actually gonna put them in the description of the video below on the YouTube channel. And if I say them too fast, or you want to go back and look to see what the actual problem is asking for, you can do that through the YouTube channel in the description. So I appreciate any comments and concerns that you have as we go through here. If you have other questions, you can contact me through YouTube, leave a comment, or you can send a comment through the blog. aaronscottclark.wordpress.com is the current address. So here we go, number 4. So it says find the value of x. If necessary, round your answer to the nearest tenth. The figure's not drawn to scale. So what we have is we have a circle, and let me zoom in a little bit here. We have a circle with a secant. This segment right here is what we call a secant. We have a segment that actually goes from the center to the secant, and it's perpendicular to it. Its length is 9. This piece right here of the secant is 12, and then the radius we're calling x. And again, our goal is to find x to the nearest tenth. So what happens, there's a couple things going on here. There's a theorem that we have that says that the perpendicular to a secant of a circle is also the bisector of the circle. Or sorry, is the bisector of the secant. I correct myself here. It goes back to a theorem that is involved in isosceles triangles. And we can talk about that in another video, but basically if you draw your radius to this point, your radius to this point, we're creating an isosceles triangle because the radii are congruent. And then a perpendicular, you're going to have 2 congruent triangles and all that sort of thing. So we can talk about that in another video, but that's where it comes from. So what I'm going to do is actually I'm going to draw that radii to the point, and I'll make it solid, I guess. So that radii we're just going to call x, and I'm basically just going to ignore this piece right here because it doesn't really come into play the way it appears. Alright, so if this side is 12, and again what I said is that this perpendicular actually bisects the secant. So if it bisects the secant, that means that these 2 segments are congruent, are the same length. So what we're going to do is notice that we've created a right triangle. We have 2 of the sides of the right triangle, and that means we're going to use what's called our Pythagorean theorem, which says the legs of, if I take the sum of the squares of the legs of a right triangle, it will equal the square of the hypotenuse. So here we go. We're going to take this leg here, which is 9, square it, take the other leg, which is 12, square it, and we're going to get x squared. So this is actually, you can go through and actually solve this, or you may realize that this is what we call a 3, 4, 5 triangle. It's a Pythagorean triple. The Pythagorean triples have relationships where they're all integer values of the sides. And again, we can talk about triples in another video. So basically we have 81 plus 144 is x squared, and you're going to get, looks like 225 is equal to x squared. Take the square root of both sides. The square root of 25 the square root of 225 is 15. So our x is 15, and it asks us to round the answer to the nearest tenth if possible. We didn't even need to round it. The answer here is 15. Okay. All right.